Welcome to this week's edition of Truth Telling Tuesdays. And here is the truth that I want to tell this week about your Facebook ads. To me, this is the most important thing that gets swept over or just pushed aside. And that is this specific thing. Deciding to spend money, to spend your hard-earned money, capital, savings, budget, whatever you're thinking, deciding to spend your money on Facebook ads is the most difficult decision to make. And this is where the superhero effect actually comes into place and allows you to grasp this decision and move forward with only success. Because the people who don't use this superhero effect, they're the ones who don't fully make the decision and then truly consistently do not have success with their ads. So here's the big picture. I want to tell you a little bit about a story about what I've experienced for the past 2 weeks, because let's see, today's Tuesday, and on Saturday, I watched the first of 2 sporting events. Now, I want to say, I don't care if you're I don't mind if you're not a sporting fan. The sporting part of this is not the piece of the puzzle, right? But I want to point something out. I expected to watch a tennis match in which Serena Williams, the greatest of all time, was going to get her 24th title, another US Open title. And she lost. She lost that match. And she lost that match to a 19-year-old who had never successfully gotten into the US Open before. Last year, she suffered from injuries, this girl. Her name is Bianca. She's 19 years old. And she couldn't get through the first round of qualifying to get into the US Open. And this year, she beat the greatest of all time and won the US Open. Now, that's not even the most interesting part of this. Fast forward to a day later, I expect to see Rafael Nadal, the maybe second greatest of all tennis players after Roger Federer on the men's side, win his 19th major title. And he was playing a 23-year-old Russian guy who has been having a great summer and never was in a US Open final before. And everyone thought it would be easy, but it was not easy. In fact, it went to 5 sets, the longest you can go in tennis, and this kid almost won, but he did not win. He actually lost. But here's the clincher. Was he a loser? No. And here's the thing that is really there about the superpower effect and the superhero effect. Because every time I go watch a movie with superheroes, or I turn one on TV and I see an old Batman or Superman or Spider-Man or whatever these random superheroes are, again, I don't mind if you're not a fan of superheroes. But here's the one thing no one really engages with and talks about. When I see a superhero movie, I am fixated, totally fixated on the struggle that these people go through, and not even the struggle, on the freaking beatings that these superheroes take. Beatings. If you saw the first Superman a couple of years ago with Henry Cavill, in which his main villain is this guy from his main country, his main planet, the action sequence at the end is what everyone talked about, right? It was over the top. Almost an entire city was destroyed because these 2 men were throwing each other, these 2 alien men were throwing each other across the city. But it's not even about the action sequence. It's about the beating that these people take. And it's the exact same thing when I watch tennis players. They are constantly taking a beating of some kind. It's not even about superheroes taking beatings or sports people who have to struggle with every point, stretched out of a place of centeredness and groundedness and always being in balance, because you can't always be in balance. That's a very necessary truth that we're going to talk about today. You cannot always be in balance. You have to get stretched, right? I hate the term comfort zone. I never use it. But if that's something that resonates with you, it is literally, if you think of a tennis player, whether you've seen a match or not, go to YouTube and put any match on. You will see someone serving harder than 130 miles an hour, and someone on the other side of that net stretching uncontrollably to try to get that ball back onto the other side of the court. How is it possible? And then, right, they do it not defensively just to get it back, but they make an offensive shot and it becomes a winner. And that is this constant state of being willing to get in there. So it's not about taking a beating. It's not about struggling. It's not about being a warrior. It's about having a willingness to get in there and stay in there. And that is actually the superhero effect. Be the superhero for yourself. Believe in yourself. And know that beyond all of this, though we're talking about these deep truth-telling things, we're only doing this for you to connect to your audience.